Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Everybody got one of my favorite coffee treats, my espresso tonica from our friends Luana and Andres, their little coffee truck over here. Always a great treat to get this coffee this morning as we spend these few minutes. Call it Coffee with PC. I got mine. Maybe you've got yours. Today is the Advent or Christmas season. Lots going on, lots of activity, lots of busyness. I'm sure your life is as busy as ours is and as everybody seems to be this time of year. So I appreciate that we can take a few minutes every week and just slow down maybe and take an extra sip of that coffee and focus on the most important message of the season. And you would expect, since I'm a preacher, that's going to be all about Jesus. One of the things that we have in our house to decorate for Christmas is we have a variety of nativities. They take up a whole section of our Christmas decor, and they're all meaningful. They come from actually all over the world because Denise's sister Heather, many of you know her, and her husband Bill and their family, they were missionaries in South America. They were missionaries in England, Europe. They've been all over, and a lot of times that would be one of the things they would do when they would go to a different country. When they go there, they'd buy a nativity. So we've got them of all sorts and kinds, all sizes, made out of a variety of different things. Some of them are made out of gourds or like stone carved, some out of glass. Got one out of olive wood. When I went to the Holy Land, I bought one in Bethlehem. That seems like an appropriate place to buy a nativity, an olive wood nativity. And they're there, and they're kind of just a great feature. We love them. We love getting them out every year and remembering all the places they represent. And central to all of those, as you know, if you probably have your own nativity of various kinds. We have a few set up here in our church. But central to it are the three main characters, Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. And it is such a familiar story to us. It is such a part, especially as a person that's in the church and that does this for a living, and if you're a part of that too, it's such a familiar thing that I think it's our familiarity with them that sometimes we miss the remarkable story that they tell. I was reading through Luke chapter 1, getting ready for this, and come across several things there, but the one that stuck out to me that I wanted to talk about today is the angel's visit to Mary, and particularly her answer. It's a remarkable interaction that you're probably familiar with. The angel Gabriel comes to Mary and he informs her that something amazing is going to happen, something tremendous, something miraculous is going to happen. She's going to have a baby, but not just any baby. In this passage in Luke 1, there's a lot of things that are said about this child. He'll be called the Son of the Most High. He'll sit on his father David's throne. He will reign over the house of Jacob. His kingdom will never end. He will be the Holy One who is called the Son of God. I mean, there's a lot there that the angel tells Mary. Of course, he tells her that this is going to be a miraculous birth. She even says, how can this be? For I am a virgin. I've never been with a man before. And the angel tells her God is going to accomplish this pregnancy miraculously. And it's her answer that gets me in this context, because after the angel drops this incredible news to her, this life-changing news to her, her answer in verse 38 is very straightforward. I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. Now, there are lots of questions I would have. She does ask the one, how can this be, for I'm a virgin? We know that. But pretty much she gets this message from the angel and she takes it, and it's remarkable. What there aren't a lot of in here are details. If you're a detail person, if you're a planner, if you like to get things together, that maybe jumps out at you. It does to me. There's very little details. She doesn't press a lot on the details. After she gets this message, it's just, okay, I'm the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. If God's going to do it, I'm going to trust him. And it is a remarkable thing. Now, I know in Baptist circles, Mary is not the hero that she is in other denominational emphases, but maybe that is more reactionary and doesn't pay attention to something that's pretty remarkable, namely her response in this, because she does not I would say she cannot fully understand the implications. We forget because it's such a familiar story. We know how it all ends, and it's so central to our faith as Christians. We forget how upsetting this would have been. I mean, she's probably a teenager, a young teenager even, when she's engaged or betrothed to Joseph. And she's going to have to tell him that she's pregnant. And she's going to have to tell her parents that she's pregnant. And her answer to both of them when they say, "Excuse me, you said what? How?" is, "It's a miracle." And I don't know about you, but that would be a hard one to swallow. We know from Matthew's account, Joseph is caught off guard. He doesn't know what to do. He cares for Mary enough that he doesn't want to put her to shame and cause any problems. So he has in mind to just end the engagement, to divorce her quietly, not to make a big deal about it. He just can't understand and can't accept it. Her parents, who knows how they would have reacted? We don't have a lot of information on how that goes. But they had to be pretty incredulous, and she had to face that. And then she had to face what would have been the shame in her village. She's not in a big city with millions of people. She's going to be in a small village where everybody knows everybody's business, and the gossip is going to happen, and people are going to notice, and people are going to talk, and she's going to be potentially an outcast. You could look at some of the things that are said that the law has to say about this kind of a situation. It's not looked well upon, and she's going to have to face all of that. And in this moment, none of that comes to her mind, but she takes a very simple response. She takes a very simple answer. "I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said." If this is what God said is going to happen, then I'm going to trust him. A remarkable response, a courageous response, a faithful response, and worthy of us to consider. Wow, what that must have been like for her as a young woman, as maybe having the hopes of her future laid out before her in this engagement process, to because of this news, conceivably have it all fall apart. And yet, what did she do? She just trusted God. Hey, I'm the Lord's servant. It's not up to me to make the plans. It's not up to me to plot out all the details. I'm just going to trust you. What a great response of faith. I like details. When something goes on, I'm the one that, and boy, do we today, do we have at our fingertips, in the palm of our hand, access to information? And I don't know if when something happens and when I'm facing a situation, boy, I'm searching for this answer and searching for options and talking to people, and I'm going all over the place. I'm not just to take it and say, okay, if that's what it is. But Mary, she does that, and that's worthy of consideration for us as an example. It's a character of the Christmas story that we know, but particularly in our tradition, kind of gloss right over, and maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should pay careful attention to this woman of courage and faith. We know, by the way, kind of looking forward, because we do know the end of the story. We do know Mary, unlike Joseph, somewhere along the line, it's thought that he passes away, and Mary is there from the day he is born until the day he dies, and then rises again. She sees the whole thing. Mary, elsewhere in the scripture, says she pondered these things in her heart. She held on to this. I mean, if you've had a child, if you're a parent, you know all the hopes and dreams you have for that child. How much more could it be to be told, listen, you're not just going to have a baby, but you're going to have a baby who is the promised Messiah. Your people, Israel, have been waiting for God to act in history to deliver you, and it's going to happen, and you're going to be the mother of this miraculous child, and you're going to have to, that's a lot to ponder in her heart, and maybe a lot to just run away from. God, maybe you should find somebody else. I don't think I'm right for this. This is overwhelming. But no, Mary, she deserves what she deserves for her faithful response and her faithful life, as we see it played out kind of on the margins of Jesus' life, yes, but her faithful response to him and to God's message for her. I hope this Christmas season, you'll remember that. You'll ponder that. So, characters of Christmas. That's why I wanted to talk about this, that you'll be reminded of her faith and her courage. Because as Joseph learns in his dream when he's considering what to do, this baby born, this Jesus born, will be the one who saves his people from their sins. He is the Messiah. He is the Savior of God. And it would do us well to consider what that means for us, what God has done in history. And I'm so thrilled that this time of year we have the record of Luke and Matthew, Mark and John, the other gospel writers who tell us, who were researching as Luke did, or eyewitnesses to some of these events in history that make all the difference in the world for our faith. So, hey, maybe you have a nativity in your house. Consider the next time you walk by and see it there, maybe at your church or somewhere in our community if you run across one. Maybe consider just what each of those individuals did and the faith that they exercised, as we see today in Mary, to be a part of this story of God sending the Messiah to save the world. Well, as I said at the beginning, we got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, busy time of year. So I'm going to let you get back to it. Thanks for taking just a few minutes to consider these things this Christmas season. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Love to have you. As I always say, join us in our worship service, Sundays 9 a.m. And make a note, Christmas Eve service, Christmas Eve candlelight service, 6 o'clock, December 24th. We'd love to have you join us for that. It's one of my favorite services of the year. It's a beautiful time of singing carols and have candlelight and celebrating what God has done in sending Jesus. So make plans to join us December 24th, or even before then, this Sunday, 9 a.m. Hope to see you at one or both of those things. So until then, take care.